So these are self-seeding potatoes. These are ones from about 2 years ago that have just re-sprouted up when I've rotivated the soil. So that's probably a pound of potatoes from doing absolutely nothing. Didn't even buy the seeds, they just grew themselves. There's a couple of green ones in there, but I will now put those in the shed, the green ones, see if I can get them to sprout. Then I will replant them in pots and put them in the greenhouse and hopefully have new potatoes for Christmas. Hi, so yeah, I've picked some potatoes, cucumbers, courgettes, beetroot. I've tried my carrots, but they're still too small. Had a few broad beans, but not very many. A few onions, spinach, lettuce. I think that's about it, really. Potatoes are still a bit too early. The wild ones, as it were, the ones that self-set, they were okay. But my actual row, which is down in that corner down there, it was hardly worth pulling them out, to be fair. I got like 2 potatoes off a plant, the rest were like tiny little marble sized ones. So I think the frost, obviously, I'll set them back a couple of weeks. So, which I knew that anyway, but it was worth pulling one just to see. But I'll leave the rest for another couple of weeks before I pull any more. I'll give you a quick tour around the plot and you can have a look for yourself. So, a quick overview. You can see how everything's coming along. These sunflowers, the ones that were wilted and I thought that was dead, are now 2.5 foot tall, which is it's amazing. Honestly, they were folded over. They looked like they were completely dead, but I thought I'd bring them down here and plant them, and they've survived. Spinach is still doing really well. It's bolting and go to seed. I still use it. I pull the leaves off, use them in smoothies. There's nothing wrong with them. It's fine. Wildflowers are still doing really well. Potatoes at the back, like I said, they're not ready yet. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a sore throat. Chard and stuff is coming through there. I've got more chard over the other side. Parsnips and wildflowers there. I've had quite a few onions that have gone to seed, so they've been pulled up and they'll get eaten over the next week. And then again, saves me going to the shop to buy onions. More wildflowers and calendula. Poppies and leeks seem to be living happy together. The potatoes that were self-set have been pulled from there, next to the wildflowers. Outdoor tomatoes have got flowers on now. My beans have shot up massively because of the rain. These onions here that are going to seed, I'm going to leave those and see if I can save the seeds from them. Just give it a go, never done that before. Strawberry bed, it's been so wet, I've actually had strawberries that have been rotting on the plant, so it just goes to show but how wet it's been. You'll see all the wasted strawberries here, look. I throw them there and the mice eat them, and it seems to be that the mice eat them there and they don't bother with anything else. It's almost like we've got this agreement that they eat there and they leave everything alone. It seems to be working. The summer pumpkin that was just a straggler is doing well. That's doubled in size since the last time I was down, easily. I need to cut this hedge back here. There's my onions and potatoes. I've got a full bag down here full of leaves and a few strawberries. Lettuce leaves, spinach leaves, mustard leaves, all that sort of thing. I've got quite a few raspberries there, which I will pick and probably eat now, to be fair. Quite hungry. Beans, I quite like it when the onions go to seed. I think they're quite pretty and the bees love them. And then once the flowers have died back, you just put a brown paper bag over the top and catch the seeds. Or when the flowers have died back, you can cut it off at the bottom, turn it upside down, hang it in your house, and the seeds will fall into the bag. Dwarf beans and runner beans seems to be doing well. I've actually got runner beans at home that I can pick today. Rocket's one of those things, look, it's so quick to go to seed, it's untrue. I'll pick some of that in the week. Have a rocket salad, I think. Those cabbages there, a bit has been left there for leaves. I will, when I'm desperate for leaves for smoothies and stuff and for soups, I just come down and pick a handful of leaves. They'll keep in the fridge for about 3 days, and you just throw them into the pot, and once you've blitzed it all up, it's fine. Sweet corn. The sweet corn there and the sweet corn over there are probably almost on par with each other now. The later sweet corn is still slightly ahead, but the early sweet corn is catching up. Random mushrooms that are growing. No idea what they are, but that's a waste bed at the moment. It needs to be dug out once the onions are done. Cabbages, again, I will just pick the leaves and any hearts that come, and I'll go into soups and smoothies. I even slice it up, make coleslaw with cabbage leaves. It's really nice. Carrots, which I pulled from here, weren't big enough, but I'm now going to leave this off. I'm hoping this mustard will go to seed, and I'm going to catch the seeds and then hopefully replant it. See if that goes. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. The pumpkins have gone huge. The size of them, and they seem to be helping the tomatoes out, because these tomatoes haven't been watered, only been watered from the rain. These tomatoes have been watered by the rain, but they don't look like they've had too much water, so I wonder if the pumpkins have been acting as a bit of a cover for them. Sometimes outdoor tomatoes can go a bit, they don't like too much water and too much cold temperatures outside, but they do. They seem to be doing so much better than the ones over there, just because there's pumpkins underneath them. So we'll see. Again, it's a sunflower that I thought was dead. This is now poking up. This needs a good weed, but this won't be done today. Going to see a friend of mine to have a few beers later. So, but the squashes that are in the ground there haven't done very well at all. I mean, you compare the pumpkins. That one, probably smaller than a football in diameter. That one, which the leaves are bigger than a football. I had a few beans off there, but nothing. We know what happened to them, so they died off. The beetroot, again, I thought it was slug pellets, and I was putting organic slug pellets down, and then watching Monty Don on the weekend, I discovered that it's not the slugs that eat the beetroot, it's house sparrows, and I've got loads of house sparrows, so I know for next time. But as my beds are becoming free now, it's time to get the next lot of seeds started off and getting them in. So I will put some fast beetroot in there, cover it over. These were 2 cucumbers that I had spare that I thought I might grow outside. I mean, they've been in a week now and they seem to be okay. Whether I'll get anything from them, I don't know. Poppies are still doing really well. Mr. Honeybee. The brassica cage, it's getting there. Hopefully I'll have plenty of kale and cabbage leaves come the winter. And I've got cucumbers forming now. 1, 2, 3, and there's one down there. 4 cucumbers now. I've got 2 in the bag actually. The tomatoes need a feed. They're really sucking the nutrients out of the soil, and I never normally have to feed them. Not till later on in the season anyway. But whether it's this humid weather that we're having, this hot, like warm, wet, muggy air, they're really growing fast. I do just like to get my tomatoes go nuts basically. I seem to do alright when they go nuts, leave them to it. I got some peppers given to me the other day by a friend of mine, which is great. See if I get anything on them. My chilies, woohoo, look! I've got flowers and little chilies forming. That's really exciting. I love chilies, especially jalapenos. They are the Tesco's chilies. The ones I said that I bought a chili from Tesco's and saved the seeds. So it'd be interesting to see what they come out as. Marigolds. Smells really nice in here with those. And I haven't seen any nasties in here, so maybe they are working. Hi there, so I hope you've enjoyed the have a look around the plot, see how things are getting on. I have actually, I'm going to go in a second. I'm meeting a friend of mine for a few, we're having a bit of a beer tasting. Bought some real ale from the supermarket. We're going to have a bit of a tasting session at his house, which should be nice. And I've done enough now for today. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I broke my finger tip in playing walking football, part of my physio. So it's in a bit of a cast and it's getting a bit of a pain actually to dig and scratch around in the soil. I've been wearing these, I've put them off, these rubber surgical gloves to keep it clean. But basically where my finger, across the tip of my finger there, I've cracked it and it's got to stay in one of those to keep straight. Otherwise I can get, apparently, so someone told me I could get something called mallet finger. So when your finger bends over and you end up with a stump on the end of it. So I don't particularly want that. So I've done enough anyway. I need to have a good weeding session down here, but that can wait till the rain and everything's passed, and when the finger's better. Okay, so have a good one. Speak soon. Hi, so I'm filling up my raised bed today. Well, one of them. Not buying any soil or compost. I'm going to do it purely from green waste that I've got lying around the garden. I saw a video online about putting logs and branches in the bottom to act as a long-term fertiliser, so thought I'd give that a go, and I'll show you step by step as I go along. So that's my raised bed. I've worked it out that it's probably about 1,000 litres to fill, which is quite a lot of compost. But I've got some logs that are in the top of the garden, and I've also cut my hedge. So I have quite a lot of branches, so they will go in first with a load of other rubbish, as you can see, branches, dead plants, this and the other, and I'll put all these on top. Then I'll get some cardboard to go on top of that. Then I've got grass clippings and rabbit sawdust to go on top of that, and I'll just build up a load of layers using leaves, compost, so on. And then once I've got it 2/3 full, I can then use actual real compost on top, but probably in the end save me about 80 quid. So not bad from using old rubbish. So that's the green waste gone in, all the hedge cuttings. That's taken up quite a bit of space. That obviously rot down. That's going to be put at the bottom, and I'm never going to put potatoes or anything in these beds, so they're just going to add nutrients. I don't need to be digging down that deep. Just be about getting the worms in there to mix it all about. Then these logs will go on top of that. These are just from woods that I've had for about a year, that I used to, if I was out walking, I'd pick up a log, put it in the car, and it'd be good for like the barbecue and stuff. But since watching the YouTube video about putting logs in raised beds, I thought I'd give it a go. So right, next job, put those in there. Okay, so that's all the logs in now. As you can see, the idea behind that is they slowly rot down and they fertilise the soil for years and years and years. So now for the next layer. Okay, so in this wheelie bin is about 6 months worth of grass clippings and rabbit poo. So as you can see, it started to pretty well compost down, and now it's time for that to go in there. So all that compost has gone in now. It looks pretty good actually. Excuse me. It's a few seeds in there, which you expect from rabbit food, but doesn't really bother me too much. It's going to get covered again. But I would probably say this raised bed's just under half full. So that saved me a hell of a lot of compost to buy from the garden centre or wherever, and now all I'm going to do is cover this over, ideally with cardboard, but I've got no cardboard. But what I have got is lots of newspapers, so I'm literally just going to completely cover it, help keep the moisture in, stop the light getting to any seeds that are in there, just help it continue composting. Hey Oliver, what you doing? What you doing? What's that? Get out! Go on, get out! 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 Get out! Out! Oliver! Yeah, the joys of having a mental case dog. Okay, speak soon. So as you can see, all the newspapers in there. That's quite full, and obviously it'll compost down and it'll shrink down. But that's still gone some way to saving some money on compost. So from me and from Oliver, hello boy. Right, he's going to do his job now. Watch this. Go on, go on. What's that? Go on. Go on. There you go. You can trample it all down for me. So from me and from Oliver, speak soon. Come on.